Welcome, everyone, to People on Dating. I'm your host, Will Morales, and this is a topic based conversation show about the ups and downs of courtship. Whether you're 18 or 80, you have a story to tell, and the gist of this podcast is just a conversation, no judgment. Today's topic, uh, I'm a solo show again, and it's about men's support system. I remember a friend of mine was asking me, who do I talk to in a time of need? Whether it's an issue in a relationship or a personal issue, who do I talk to? And I thought about that. I was like, gee, I don't know who I talk. Yeah, I mean, it's not that many people I could talk to. Not that many people I feel comfortable I could talk to. But it was an intriguing question because it made me think. And that's the main thing. Like, who do you talk to after a breakup or issues in your relationship? And this is like a topic for men. Uh, my friend said that he talks to his brother. I have a brother in Florida, but he's a step brother or half brother. So I'm not really close to him like that. So, again, it made me think, are there friends that you could talk to? Is anyone that you could trust, childhood friends that are still around, or you have friends like I did at one point who don't want to hear you complain, or do they tell you just to, hey, just man up, the hell with her, she was a bitch, she wasn't good for you, blah blah blah, just the negative stuff that at times I don't want to hear. The hell with that, I don't want to hear that. Especially, I remember this years ago. There was a woman that I fell in love with. Um, and it didn't work out. And I didn't want to hear that she was this, she was that, because she wasn't. So that made me think. Um, Again, how about your family members, like I mentioned earlier, brother or sister? Can you get their point of view? Will they be there to support you? Will they be there to talk to you? Will they be there just to listen and no judgment? You know what I mean? So that's a tough one. Uh, Suppose like me, I grew up with my grandparents. I didn't talk to them at all, anything. I mean, I kept everything to myself. So I pretty much took that into my life for the rest of, pretty much for the rest of, almost the rest of my life up to now. I might say something here or there, but it's really very rare. Like I said, with my grandparents, my grandma died when I was like 15. So, I don't even think I was dating yet. And by the time I was in my 20s, early 20s, I didn't talk to my grandfather about anything. And he passed away when I was 24. So I didn't talk to them. I wasn't close to my father or mother to 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 rely on them or to tell them how I felt about certain things. How about, would you consider therapy? Can you talk to a doctor? Would that be something to think about? I mean, I was in therapy for a couple of years, and for me, I don't think it worked out. I was just complaining about certain things, a little bit about my sisters, because at the time they were more interested in getting something out of me than getting to know me. So my complaint was mostly about them. Do you have a best friend that you could talk to? Again, I might have talked about that before, close friends that you could talk to, but uh, I have a lot of close friends, but in terms of certain things, no, I think some of them I'll just again keep to myself. I might say some stories about a particular woman that I really cared about, or she might have screwed me over or whatever. But in most part, again, I have a tendency to keep a lot of stuff to myself. How about someone at work? Someone who doesn't really know your partner or your friends. They just know you from work. They know you, that you're a stand-up guy. You do your job. Is there someone there that you could talk to? You ever thought about that, talking to someone at work? For me personally, no. Again, because I know it was mostly an acquaintance, someone that I wouldn't probably not say trust, but someone I wouldn't open up to that much. Like I said, I would have just kept it to myself. Again, anytime, and it's rare that someone asks me, "Hey," they will ask me if I was married or whatever, and I would say no. Never been married, got engaged. Well, let me skip that. No, never been married, never have kids. I didn't, never wanted to have kids. That's the gist of what I'll say. And not to say I don't love kids, I do, but for me, I just wasn't in the cards. Um, Again, it could be tough if you don't have someone to talk with. Again, maybe therapy could be an alternative. I don't know, but it's tough if as a man that you don't have anyone to talk to because no matter what they say, when anybody else say, we have feelings too. We have our ups and downs. We get upset. We get pissed off. Things that might not go our way. We wonder why. If it's especially if it's a woman that we really care about, and it doesn't work out. Why didn't it work out? I'm one of those guys that I don't need closure. And like I said, if a woman doesn't like me, I'll just move on. That's it. I don't need to know why. I'm not gonna lie there. I'm not gonna think about it. But in most cases, I'll just move on and go forward. That's it. That's all I can do. You know what I mean? So it's tough because there's certain things that I would like to talk to some of my close friends about, but then I feel like when you get to know them and you see their attitude in certain situations and all that, then you're like, well, you know what, I can't talk to this guy. It's not a good thing. So yeah, it could be tough. For some of my friends, they do have a brother or sister they could talk to. In certain situations, I did talk to my sisters about some business dealings that I had with a couple of women that turned out sour. I did talk about that, but in terms, it's very rare that I go to them about relationship issues. Again, I usually just keep it to myself. With this show, I want to be a little bit more transparent because I want everybody out there to know what some of us men go through, whether you're 20 years old, 30, 50, 60, like I am. We have our issues too, that we have to deal with. Anyway, guys, I hope that helped, because it's definitely an issue to consider for men if you don't have a support system. Someone that you could rely on, someone you could talk to, and they're not going to judge you. They're not going to tell you, oh man up, be a man, screw her. She was a bitch anyway. You know what? Sometimes I don't want to hear that shit. I don't. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. I'm Will Morales. The name of the show is People on Dating. I got a couple of episodes coming up. One, which is a very good topic that I've been hearing a lot lately about narcissism. So I have that coming up. I have a show that I did with this young lady named Kate Dudzik, and we talked about online dating profiles, what to look for. I thought she was amazing to talk to. The guy I did the narcissism podcast with, his name is Tony Rodriguez. I'll put all his information on the show notes. He was amazing to talk to. So I got a couple of great guests coming up. So it's not only going to be me. I'm not going to always bore you to death. Anyway, guys, please look for me on peopleondating.com. That's peopleondating.com. Check out our blog. Check out our past episodes. Eventually, I'm going to have a resource page. Also, I'm on Apple Podcasts. Please go there, subscribe, review, share, like. Excuse me. Tell us how we can make the show better. Maybe you could come up with a topic that we might like. I'm also on Spotify and Google Podcasts. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. On behalf of People on Dating, I'm Will Morales. Until next time, thanks, everybody. Have a great, great day, and please stay safe. Bye.